You guys like my birthday balloons? Check it out. Part of my wife's surprise for me. I just turned, how old? You're right, 38. I know. Don't look like it. Hey, it's part of supernatural lifestyle. We're not designed to grow old and decrepit. I don't believe that. If you want to believe that, go for it. But, I mean, there's something about wisdom. I mean, I don't actually mind some of the transformation of colors happening in my beard. I mean, Jesus has hair white as snow. What if it's white because it's full of light and his hair is like fiber optic cables, like just, you know, transmitting like heavenly rays? I mean, who knows? You can go anywhere with it. Bible's a guide to an infinite world and the infinite reality of the infinite God, you know. I have this phrase on my Facebook page that says, like, how I describe my life is eyeing the endless sea. And I just, it makes me think, like, I think one of the reasons that I find this sea so fascinating is because you can see the horizon, that you know it continues on after that. And that endlessness, it makes me think of, like, otherworldliness. Things along those lines. That's the coffee maker. Let me know it's done. One of my birthday presents. And here it is. Thanks, Josiah, for my new Starbucks mug. I haven't had a video in a while where I've drank some coffee, so here you go. This one keeps it nice and hot. That's going to be in the way. Hey, check this out. It's my new book. Call for Revivalists, version 2. I know a lot of you know, are already aware that I rewrote it. Here's the original version. Came out in 2012. So that's been 6 years, 2018. Great book. Here's some of the places I've been kind of going through, marking it up. Never quite captured what I want. It had some issues and some things that really needed to update it to tell the whole story. And so in 2014, actually, I began rewriting this, and I rewrote 95% of it, almost every single sentence. A lot of it's the same. A lot of the chapters are still the same titles, same kind of progression through the book. But I feel it has more of a focus. You know, we're talking a lot about kingdom family and how kingdom family is part of Father loving Son, Son loving Spirit, Spirit loving Papa, and our place in that is the bride. So you have Father loving Son, Son loving bride, bride loving Spirit, Spirit loving Father. So this amazing thing, if you're part of that family, then by default you're going to live supernatural lifestyle. And so this brand new book, I'm going to take it out of my contraption here, is actually, it's a lot thicker. I added a couple of chapters. It's 320 pages. It's something that you can really, you know, go chapter by chapter, grab a cup of joe, and just dive into. I didn't write it as a theology book, but honestly, the way it progresses through the book is heaven on earth theology. I don't go into historical context of everything or exegete the audience and things like that. I talk to you in this about, you know, a lot of passages in Scripture and how they're designed as gateways for us to live and activate a supernatural lifestyle. I even added a lot more detail in some of the encounters. A few months ago, I came out with a book called Sky Dream. And that was about the most amazing dream. And I've had some amazing encounters lately, so we'll see what happens. But, you know, up until recently, I considered it the greatest encounter of my life. And I talk all about that in the Sky Dream book because I wanted to release it ahead of time. But now there's a brand new chapter in Call for Revivalists called Our Place in the Sky. And it's all about this wonderful dream that I had where I encountered Jesus and saw, you know, really saw what his heart is for the church, for the family, and how we're really created to be, and what that would look like if you're seeing it from his perspective, from heavenly places, and how we're ascended with him into those heavenly places, and what it looks like to live life from that perspective. So it's really amazing. When I went back and revisited the dream, there's all these amazing details. I actually had this dream in 2001. So I had this dream 17 years ago, and for the first time over the last couple of years, as I was rewriting this book, I was finally able to add some language to it. So I'm really excited to release this to you. Again, it's readable. It's got amazing stories, amazing testimonies, but it has a lot of Bible. It has just a lot of angles of what it's like to live a supernatural lifestyle, why, and what the Bible actually has to say about it. I'm just so honored. It's really neat because my wife Alicia wrote the foreword. And we're really carrying this family message. So, and we're really looking at our ministry is not Dave does his thing or Alicia does her thing. It's us together. And to come out with this. And we plan on writing books together, but come out with this with her, having her do the foreword was really amazing. And having one of our spiritual fathers, Leif Hetland, actually endorsed the book for me. He said, "Call for Revivalists is available for anyone who desires to be part of the greatest revival the world's ever seen." So, Bob Leif, thank you for having, those kind of words to say about the book, but it is my heart to activate a lifestyle of revival and revivalists. And I'm not talking about having a bunch of good meetings or even stuff that we may have seen in the earth before. I think those are all prophesying of what true revival is. And for me, that was when creation is revived to God's original design and intention. When he looks across the earth from his otherworldly realm, vortex outside of time, and sees earth as he intends, how does where earth is now line up with that? Well, I feel part of the ecclesia, the church, is to govern that into existence, and this book is all about that. And recently I was reading about Jesus turning water into wine, and I just had this thing of, like, that was such a prophetic thing that happened at the beginning of his ministry. Here's this natural man, but right from the get-go, he takes a natural substance like water and then adds, turns it into wine. Wine has to be aged. It's not something that just instantly happens. He took from the reservoirs of heaven of stuff that was already aged, even within himself and his relationship with the Father. If you think about it, the wine within Jesus from his birth until this happened, it was 30 years. That wine was aged 30 years, not to mention the history of eternity there. So the things that were aged and prepared in heaven, when he turns the water into wine at Cana, is a representation that is now available and flowing abundantly on the earth. The church is designed to be drinking wine, but unfortunately for too long we've been only satisfied with water. When it's time to get the fullness of Christ, the fullness of Jesus in the earth, the fullness of the supernatural. So that's what this was all about. Go check this out. It's actually on Amazon and booksellers worldwide. I don't know when you're watching the video, but if you're watching it as it came out, it's actually on sale. It's a couple dollars cheaper than when it first released. So go check it out. There will be a link below or somewhere around for you to go grab your own copy. Bless you guys. I want to share that with you. Hey, rise revivalist.